A true hero or a fearless risk-taker? Many have heard the name Ferdinand Magellan, but few truly know his life. He wasn't just an explorer. He was a man who risked everything, broke boundaries, and proved the world is round. Ferdinand Magellan was born around 1480 in Sabrosa into a noble Portuguese family. His father was a minor noble, which gave him early access to education and opportunities. Magellan received his education at the Portuguese court. He learned languages, cartography, history, and navigation. Portugal at the time was the center of European seafaring, home to the best explorers and mapmakers. As a teenager, he joined the Portuguese fleet. He gained his first real experiences traveling to South America and learning survival at sea. Rejected by Portugal, Magellan had a revolutionary idea. We can reach Asia by sailing west. Portugal rejected his proposal, seeing it as risky, turning to Spain. Determined, Magellan went to Spain. There, the king and queen were eager to challenge Portugal in controlling trade routes. The historic voyage begins. Preparation. In 1519, Spain provided 5 ships: Trinidad, Santiago, San Antonio, Concepcion, Victoria. Over 230 crew members boarded the ships. Mission: find a western route to the Spice Islands in Asia. Storms and challenges. The fleet faced massive storms and treacherous waves. Food and fresh water ran low. Crew members were forced to eat rats, leather, and spoiled food. Leadership and crisis management. Magellan's leadership was critical. He kept the crew organized and prevented mutiny. Mutiny among the crew. Fatigue, hunger, and desperation. Weeks passed with no land in sight. Crew morale dropped. Hunger and fear took over. Rebellion erupts. Some sailors attempted to take over the ships. Magellan acted decisively, quelling the mutiny while promising safe return if no land was found. After rounding South America, the fleet entered the vast, deadly Pacific Ocean. Magellan tried to establish alliances with local tribes and spread Christianity. But conflict broke out with a local leader named Lapu-Lapu. Magellan engaged in combat to support the allied tribe. In the fierce battle, he was killed in action. The crew was shocked. Their commander was gone. The ships rocked in stormy waters. Swords clashed, arrows flew, and Magellan fought until the end. Continuing the voyage without Magellan, another officer took command. The crew continued their journey across the Indian Ocean, around Africa, and back to Spain. Out of 230 men, only 18 survived. They completed the first circumnavigation of the globe, proving the Earth is round. Magellan's historical legacy. For the first time, the voyage offered concrete proof that the Earth is round and connected. Magellan inspired future explorers, scientists, and adventurers. Imagine, 18 men on the tiny deck of the last remaining ship, bodies exhausted, eyes full of wonder, returning home with monumental news: the Earth is round, and every horizon we see is just the beginning. Ferdinand Magellan, noble childhood, trained in navigation, rejected by Portugal, supported by Spain, storms and mutiny, deadly battle in the Philippines, completing the first circumnavigation. He wasn't just an explorer, he was a man who believed that boundaries exist only in the mind. Imagine a young man in Italy with limited resources, driven only by a dream to sail across the world, deciding to find a westward route and discovering a whole new continent. This is the story of Christopher Columbus. Childhood and family. Christopher Columbus was born on August 25, 1451, in Genoa, Italy. His father, Domenico, was a weaver, and the family belonged to the middle class. Columbus had 4 siblings and from a young age showed a strong interest in the sea and ships. He often joined his father on small trading voyages and learned practical seafaring skills. Formal education was limited, but through reading geography books and hands-on experience, he acquired essential skills. As a teenager, Columbus worked on trading ships sailing the Mediterranean and North Atlantic routes. His journeys to Portugal and Africa enhanced his navigation and maritime trade skills. He was fascinated by the idea of finding new routes to Asia, as the traditional route around Africa was long and dangerous. In 1476, he was nearly killed in a pirate attack, an experience that strengthened his survival skills and leadership of his crew. By studying maps and Marco Polo's writings, he developed a deep understanding of the world. Columbus believed he could reach Asia by sailing west and gain immense wealth. He first sought support from Portugal but was rejected. He then went to Spain and spent several years convincing King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Finally, in 1492, Spain provided 3 ships, Niña, Pinta, and Santa Maria, and the necessary resources for the voyage. Columbus set sail from Palos on August 3, 1492. He first stopped at the Canary Islands to resupply, then entered the Atlantic Ocean. After about 2 months at sea, on October 12, 1492, he reached an island in the Caribbean, likely the Bahamas, naming it San Salvador. Columbus believed he had reached India, but in fact, he had discovered the new continent of America. He then explored Cuba and Hispaniola, mapping these regions. Christopher Columbus used stars and a compass for navigation. He was bold in choosing risky routes and could convince both his crew and investors, even when he himself was uncertain about reaching his destination. Columbus undertook a total of 4 voyages to the New World, exploring the Caribbean, Central, and South America. Despite discovering a new continent, his later life was troubled with conflicts with Spanish authorities. He died in 1506 in Valladolid, Spain, still believing he had reached Asia. Columbus changed the course of world history, initiating European colonization of the Americas. He is considered one of the greatest navigators in history, even though his mistakes in recognizing the new continent and his treatment of native peoples have been criticized. Throughout history, a select few dared to venture into the unknown, forever altering our understanding of the world. These famous explorers, driven by curiosity and courage, charted new territories and connected distant civilizations. First, Christopher Columbus, the Italian navigator, embarked on a daring quest to find a westward sea route to Asia. His 1492 voyage led to the European discovery of the Americas, profoundly changing the course of global history. Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer, sought a westward passage to the Spice Islands, leading an ambitious expedition. His fleet achieved the first circumnavigation of the Earth, a monumental feat that proved the world was round. Marco Polo, the Venetian merchant, embarked on an epic overland journey to the distant lands of the East. His detailed accounts of his time in China opened Europe's eyes to the rich cultures and wonders of Asia. Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, pioneered the first direct sea route from Europe to India. This monumental voyage established vital trade links, forever changing global commerce and cultural exchange. Captain James Cook, the British explorer, led scientific voyages across the vast Pacific Ocean. He meticulously mapped vast regions, including Australia and New Zealand, contributing immensely to cartography and science. Henry Hudson, an English navigator, tirelessly searched for the elusive Northwest Passage to Asia. His explorations led to the discovery of the Hudson River and Bay, though his final voyage ended tragically. Hernán Cortés, the Spanish conquistador, led an expedition that dramatically impacted the Americas. His conquest of the Aztec Empire marked a pivotal moment in the Spanish colonization of the New World. Francisco Pizarro, another Spanish conquistador, ventured into South America, seeking riches and new territories. He played a key role in the downfall of the vast Inca Empire, forever changing the region's destiny. Abel Tasman, a Dutch explorer, made significant discoveries in the southern hemisphere. He was the first known European to reach Tasmania, New Zealand, and Fiji, expanding European knowledge of Oceania. Finally, Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian merchant and cartographer, explored the eastern coast of South America. His realization that these lands were a new world, not Asia, led to the continents being named America in his honor. These explorers, through their daring journeys, not only expanded geographical knowledge, but also shaped the cultural and political landscape of our planet. Their legacies continue to inspire us to explore, discover, and understand the vastness of our world and beyond.